Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Legal Score. I am your host, Sonja. Hope everybody's doing great on this Wednesday, May the 13th, 2026. We're halfway through a new month already, guys, and hopefully everyone had a great Mother's Day. And shout out to those families with thoughts who are celebrating without their loved ones who gave the ultimate sacrifice this Memorial May. This is Memorial May. Got a lot of sports news to cover tonight, so make sure you guys come on and say hello and share the live. If you feel so inclined, of course, throw those thumbs up. And I am live. So, once again, good to see everyone tonight. And right now, we got the NBA news going on right now. The Pistons are leading the Cleveland Cavaliers. That game is literally I don't want to say it's over because it's about a 13, 14 point lead right now. 47 points the Pistons have to the Cavaliers 32. Excuse me, 38. Now they just scored with 5 minutes left in the second. So all you Pistons fans out there and all you Cavs fans out there, definitely waiting to see who's going to be the number one. Because right now, the Pistons went into this thing with the number one ranking. But anyway, make sure you guys subscribe to me on YouTube, The Legal Score. And also, this month of shows are being dedicated to our great producer in the sky, Mac McGrath. Shout out to Miss Linda. Of course, the T Wolves yesterday got beat down by the Spurs, 126-97. That was the finale for them. Today, this game is going on that started at 8 o'clock between the Cavs and the Pistons. And then they have another matchup on Friday, and the Spurs and T Wolves will be squaring up on Friday as well. Lot of news. Now the New York Knicks swept the Philadelphia 76ers 4-0. Like just got them up out of there, advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight year. Even though Philadelphia got Joel Embiid back and it looked really promising, it wasn't. But their defense and hot shooting closed out the series decisively. Now the Cavs and Pistons are tied up right now for the East 2-2. One of the most physical series of the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell exploded in game four, while Evan Mobley has been dominant defensively. Game five is right now, and it's being viewed as this pivotal game because with these two teams being tied at 2-2, the winner is going to probably have an 80% chance, historically, statistically speaking, of winning the entire series. They're on a commercial break right now. Keep you all updated with the score if you are not an ESPN subscriber. San Antonio Spurs actually took a 3-2 series lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves after a huge Game 5 win. Victor Wembanyama dominated with 27 points, 17 rebounds, and 5 assists, continuing his breakout postseason run. The OKC Thunder, they're back in there. You guys remember them from last year? Well, the Thunder has not fizzled out. They are still here. They are still advancing in the Western Conference Finals after eliminating LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron and Bronny, the first father son duo to play in the postseason, to play in the playoffs, and the first father son duo to be eliminated. I don't think we've seen the last of those two at all. Now, the reports are coming out of the NBA that are saying the NBA will not punish Milwaukee Bucks after investigating late season absence of Giannis Antetokounmpo. You guys remember there were some absences surrounding him. Well, they're going to just let it be for now. And trade rumors are already starting to spark up about where he will be next season before the NBA draft comes up. Philadelphia 76ers fired their general manager, Daryl Morey, following their playoff sweep by New York. I just don't think that's always the answer, but who knows? We saw what Thibodeau, what happened with him in New York, and it seemed not prepared for it. Seemed like they didn't have a backup plan in place, but then later on, looks like they did. And then we saw how New York looked. So there is that. Um, of course, we're going to see right now when this game wraps up who survives this playoff series between Cleveland and Detroit. And OKC, of course, is going to be definitely going back to the finals. Big things out of that. Now, let's move over to some baseball right now. You will see me wearing my Atlanta Braves shirt. It is definitely Brave season. It is MLB Lots of stuff going on. The Atlanta Braves have the best record in baseball right now at 29-13. Woo, let's go Braves. Let me see if I can find my little. I don't ever have my little cheer and stuff over here when I need it to. Where is B when I need him? So anyway, shout out to them doing what they need to do and having the best record. So here we go. Shout out to the Atlanta Braves. Yes, sir. Braves country. The Chicago Cubs remain one of baseball's hottest teams despite having their 10-game winning streak snap recently. And the Houston Astros and New York Mets are among the season's biggest disappointments, y'all. So far, with both of them sitting below 500 despite high expectations during spring training and what have you. Biggest player headlines, specifically Paul Skeens, nearly threw a no-hitter this week for the Pittsburgh Pirates, striking out 10 Rockies hitters over 8 dominant innings. Like, come on, dude. That is definitely awesome. Kudos to him for that. And he now owns a 1.98 era and is again looking like a Cy Young front runner. So kudos to him. Shohei Ohtani homered again for the Los Angeles Dodgers during a nationally discussed Ice Cube bobblehead night game. And Kyle Schwarber hit a home run, his 5th straight game for the Philadelphia Phillies. So kudos to him for that. Injury and roster news. Francisco Alvarez of the New York Mets suffered a torn meniscus and is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks after knee surgery. Logan Webb actually landed on the IL for the San Francisco Giants with knee bursitis, and former Yankee Alex Verdugo has reportedly may be facing the end of his MLB career after a major shoulder injury setback. Of course, early MLB trading rumors are now heating up, especially around the San Francisco Giants, potentially moving expensive veterans before the trade deadline. MLB and the Players Association have officially begun early CBA talks this week. Salary cap discussions are expected to become one of the most biggest issues to discuss heading into the 2027 labor negotiations. Sad news around baseball. Longtime Cleveland Guardians public address announcer Bob Tayek died at age 75 after nearly 3 decades with the organization. Tributes have been pouring in around baseball, and in true fashion, they say it's always in threes. Legendary former Atlanta Braves manager Bobby Cox passed away this week at age 84. The Braves actually announced his passing last weekend, May 9th. He's considered one of the greatest managers in MLB history. He managed the Braves for 25 seasons across 2 stints and led Atlanta to 14 straight division titles, 5 National League pennants, the 1995 World Series championship, and he finished with 2,504 career wins, 4th most all time when he retired. Of course, the Braves players and former stars across baseball have been posting tributes all week on social media. Former Braves star Chipper Jones called manager Cox a second father. Cox suffered a major stroke in 2019 and later dealt with heart complications. He passed away at his home in the Atlanta suburb of Marietta, Georgia. All right. So now let's move on over to some NFL news. Let me just go ahead and start this one out. A lot of NFL news, a lot of retirements this week, a lot of trades still going on. I really always am thinking, like, okay, when is the trade deadline? Because it feels like every few days or so, you're hearing about someone else getting extended, someone else getting traded, et cetera, et cetera. Want to start off with talking about all of that stuff here going on. We're going to start talking about looks like, and I'm let me pronounce his name. I know he said it's Etienne. His brother is now with the Saints. The Dolphins are actually signing running back Davon A-Chain, I'm just gonna say A-Chain, to a 4-year extension with $68 million. making him the NFL's third highest paid running back at $17 million per year with $32 million guaranteed. The APY and guarantees are the most ever for a running back coming off a rookie contract. Excuse me. So congratulations to him. The reigning Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks, will host the New England Patriots to open the regular season on Wednesday, September the 9th. It's going to be a Super Bowl rematch between the two. And the Raiders quarterback battle is neck and neck. I'll tell you guys about that in just a second. Raiders quarterback battle is neck and neck, according to Polymarket Sports. Now, y'all know the Raiders had a number one draft with Fernando Mendoza. Well, they also brought Mr. Kirk Cousins out to the desert. So they are not so sure that Fernando will be taking the field at the number one spot. According to everybody out there that's seen them go at it here in spring training, they OTA, excuse me, they are neck and neck in performance. Score check real quick. Cleveland 47, Detroit 56, with 150 left in the second quarter. Just a small basketball plug there. Former Vikings, lots of retirements to announce here. Former Vikings 2023 fifth round pick Jaron Hall announced his retirement from the NFL. Now, he was just drafted a couple of seasons ago in the fifth round. 28 years old, spent one season with Minnesota, joining the Seahawks afterwards for a brief stint. He appeared in 3 regular season games for the Vikings and made 2 starts in 2023, throwing for 168 yards, with 0 touchdowns and 1 interception with a 65% completion percentage. He went 1-1 as a starting quarterback. So I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I just thought he was gonna get a little bit more exposure than that. And he was quoted as saying, what he'll carry most isn't the milestones, but the people, teammates, coaches, family, and a community that supported me every step of the way. My heart is full as I close this chapter and finish my football career. I'm thankful to everyone who's been part of the journey. The game has given me more than I could have ever give back. This is what Hall wrote on social media. What's up, Rochelle? How you doing? My girl, Panther Red. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Mother's Day. All right. The Packers are not packing people up. They're actually claiming people. They're helping them pack to come to Green Bay. They are claiming wide receiver Brandon Rice off of waivers from the Raiders. Rice, the son of legendary Jerry Rice, heads to Green Bay after a stint with the Las Vegas Raiders. Excuse me, he's 24 years old, has appeared in only 3 regular season games since entering the NFL in 2024, all with the Chargers during his rookie year. So hopefully the Packers will be a great fit for him, that he can actually, go up there and show what he's made of and, make his daddy proud. Unfortunately for the New York Giants, despite them being rah and hyped up because they have Coach Harbaugh up there and, they think they're just going to take over the NFC East, their wide receiver Malik Neighbors has now undergone a second surgery, this time to remove scar tissue from this knee surgery he had earlier. This was causing him a lot of stiffness. Giants are still hoping that Neighbors will be ready for week 1. And let's be clear, with procedures like that, he most likely will be. We're in the month of May now. Scar removal is just a very simple procedure, and it's to help him feel better. Neighbors, the 22, first underwent ACL and meniscus surgery on October 28th of last year. So we have not seen him for quite a spell. The Philadelphia Eagles, they have some anticipated departures of A.J. Brown. So here's a new look at the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver room. Great to know, Rochelle. I'm so glad. Thank you so much for responding. You look beautiful as always. Love your new profile picture. Okay, ma'am. By the way, I hope you like my necklace. It's my middle name. See, Rochelle. Anyway, with A.J. Brown's anticipated departure, here's the new look of the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver room. It is Devontae Smith, Mekhi Lemon, Dontavian Wicks, Marquise Brown, And let's see, Elijah Moore, Quez Watkins, Johnny Wilson, Darius Cooper, Britain Covey, and Danny Gray. Y'all got way too many wide receivers, Philadelphia. Are y'all kidding me? This literally looks like a mini roster. Insane. No wonder AJ Brown is wanting to be out. It's way too many people up there. Jeez, I don't think I've ever heard of a team having that many wide receivers. All right, y'all. So y'all know Stephon Diggs just beat his case. Not literally. That's probably not a good word to use since it's kind of the same thing he was charged with. He defeated his case. He was found not guilty on alleged allegations that he had assaulted his chef. Uh, Another teammate of his, Patriots, seventh round, bro. You barely got into the league and you're in here causing problems. Linebacker Quintavious Hutchins was charged today with domestic assault and battery on a family / household member, and he pleaded not guilty this morning. So, court records indicate that the alleged incident occurred in Newton on Tuesday, Newton, Massachusetts, that is. Patriots issued the following statement. We are aware of the report involving Quintavious Hutchins. We take these matters very seriously and are in the process of gathering additional information. We will not have further comment at this time. Hutchins is 23, had just signed his 4-year rookie contract on Saturday. So I don't know, maybe he didn't sign as much as he wanted, went home and just had a bad day. All right. So how do I feel about our new rookies coming in? Actually, Rochelle, that's a great question. And I'm glad you love my necklace. Um, I really feel like the Panthers have really accentuated with everybody. They've done a lot of building around Bryce. They have showed that the draft picks for the team are innovative and youthful. They've done more. It's almost like they have like an age cap on who they're going to draft. I know that that will basically vest into the future because let's be clear, the Panthers have been on rebuild for about a decade. And even though we went ahead and, got into the playoffs this past season, it wasn't pretty. So I'm hoping, that with these new pieces that we have and these new players, Moreling and all these guys, I'm hoping, Freeling, I'm hoping that this will hush the naysayers once and for all. Last season, everybody was talking about the defense of the Panthers, or they couldn't talk about it enough. Even the announcers. We hushed that. We put those fires out, hushed them down. Now, it's like, oh, they got into the playoffs because the Falcons beat Tampa Bay, and it was just a whole mess in NFC South. This year, I want separation. I want true dominance of the division with no questions asked. And we definitely not should have gotten swept by the Saints. However, the Saints going with Tyler Shuck is going to be dangerous for the South as a whole. Had they started him the beginning of the season, we may not have been as fortunate to claim the South. All right. Another retirement, Miami Dolphins rookie running back Le'Veon Moss, who signed with Miami as an undrafted free agent on May 8th. Like just signed with them. I don't know. He signed with them and he's now retired from the NFL. The Dolphins had he's only 23. They had actually placed him on the IR list. The reserve, actually, let me get that right. They placed him on the reserve / retired list, and they retained his rights if he ever decides to resume his pro career. He played 4 seasons at Texas A&M and was a second team All SEC selection in 2024. I have no idea what prompted this retirement, but I'll have to look into that. That's another story to come back to. Veteran free agent wide receiver Stephon Diggs says he's interested in signing with his hometown team, the Washington Commanders. I didn't realize that he was from the DC area. Should have known. They asked him if he's spoken to any Commanders players about joining the team. His response was a little bit. All right, so this Cavaliers Pistons game is at halftime right now. Pistons are still leading. Another half to be played. So there's that. Anyways, back to Stephon Diggs. He says he's familiar with the city and familiar with the people. So, He's hoping to get over there. 32 years old. He was born in Gaithersburg, Maryland, which is outside of DC area. He attended Our Lady of Good Counsel High School and played for the University of Maryland. In 2025, he caught 85 passes, 1,013 yards, and 4 tutties. So maybe seeing him in a, I keep wanting to say Redskins. That's why y'all hear me pause. That team was my team before we got the Panthers as a kid. So another retirement, Chicago Bears rookie wide receiver Squirrel White, who signed with Chicago as a UD FA, undrafted free agent, out of Florida State, is retiring. 22 years old. It's a lot of players that are getting out of here before 25. Participated in the Bears rookie minicamp this past weekend, but has decided to hang up the cleats after a brief stint in the league. All right, y'all, I have to say this. Sometimes the demands of the NFL, physically and mentally, people go in and just realize, okay, this is not what I thought. This is not what I thought, and this is not what I want. And it's requiring way more demands on me than I thought. So, if that's the reason for their mental health, for their physical health to be better, and they feel better in making that decision at such a youthful age, because before all these retirements that I'm talking about now, the youngest person I knew was Calvin Megatron Johnson of the Detroit Lions, who was 29 years old when he decided to hang out his cleats. So I don't know. I'm going to have to do some digging to find out why we're having this sudden burst of undrafted free agents that just came in the league literally like a week or two prior, and they're out. Some good news. Some people getting paid. The Pittsburgh Steelers are signing all-pro kicker Chris Boswell to a 4-year, $28 million extension, making him the NFL's highest paid kicker, y'all, along with Brandon Aubrey. Y'all know who he is from the Cowboys, at $7 million per year. So at least, he's gonna have his money coming in as a kicker. And they should, a lot of these games, the kickers are what puts the game away. They literally ice the game. I see you, Rochelle. Yes. Watched your fan as a kid too. See, there you go, Carolina. Missouri star running back and 2027 draft prospect Ahmad Hardy, this is out of Mizzou, was shot at a concert in Mississippi early Sunday morning and is in stable condition following surgery. Excuse me. He's deeply loved by teammates, coaches, friends, family, and fans. The school issued a statement, and they are continuing to support him. He's 20 years old. He was alert as of this past Monday, so making improvements, and he was moving around, so he's probably discharged at this point. But there's optimism that he will play football again. However, there's no timetable for his return. In 2025, Hardy was named as the consensus All-American and the SEC Newcomer of the Year after rushing for 1,649 yards on 256 carries and 16 touchdowns with 6 receptions for 22 yards. So, it's always somebody out there that is trying to damage. I just remember this Commanders player that was shot during, and it's a guy in Florida too. Was just giving someone a ride and they like ambushed. There was just a lot of violence in this country, and it's sad. And I don't know if these people are targeted because they have such a promise that people know who they are, but the hate is real, and it's really, really sad. So hoping for a speedy recovery for him. The Chargers are signing former Browns tight end David Njoku to a 1-year deal worth up to $8 million. This is a big addition for Justin Herbert and the Chargers. So he'll be going out there where it's nice and warm. And let's talk about some NFL eligibilities. Now, I'm going to talk about this other person next. I don't give a crap about them for real, for real. 2027 Hall of Fame induction is upon us. They've already selected the finalists and the inductees for 2026. Your girl will be there. I'm so excited. Cannot wait to see Luke Kuechly, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Roger Staubach, and Adam Vinatieri, amongst others, get inducted. First week of August in Canton, Ohio. Your girl will be there. Cannot wait. Anyway, former Carolina Panthers, you guys know this guy. And by the way, happy belated birthday to Cameron Jarrell Newton. His birthday was just the other day, May 11th. And so he's now 37. Like, can you believe Cam Newton is almost 40? Like, that's wild. Anyway, he is now eligible to be inducted into 2027 Hall of Fame. This is his first ballot. And so this is the time we get a chance to see, because everybody was always like, oh, this person is first ballot Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer. Let's see. Let's see if Cam is going to get in on this first ballot Hall of Famer. If he does, I will be super excited for him. But anyway, Cam Newton was the NFL most valuable player in 2015, NFL Offensive Player of the Year 2015, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year 2011, first team All-Pro 2015, third three-time Pro Bowler in 2011, 2013, and 2015. And he's the number one overall pick out of the 2011 NFL Draft. Out of Auburn, threw for 32,382 yards, 194 touchdowns, and 123 interceptions. With a 59.9 completion percentage. However, he is slated to be on the first ballot Hall of Fame. Another person that you guys will know is former Seattle Seahawks cornerback and one-time Super Bowl champion winner Richard Sherman, eligible to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2027. Super Bowl champion, of course, 11 NFL seasons for him, three-time All-Pro Bowler, 2012 through 2014, two-time second-team All-Pro Bowler, 2015 and 2019, five-time regular Pro Bowler, 2013 through 16, and 2019 NFL interceptions leader, 2013, and ranked first amongst cornerbacks in passer rating allowed, 51.2%, catch rate 48.1%, and cover snaps per reception, 18.5 from 2013 through 2018. And he's a member of the 2010 All-Decade Team. Sherman was selected by the Seattle Seahawks in the 5th round of the same draft that Cam was, 2011. Out of Stanford, recorded 495 tackles, 385 solo, 12 TFLs, 5 FFs, 7 FRs, 37 interceptions with 3 pick sixes, and 116 PBUs in 144 career games and 138 starts. After 7 seasons in Seattle, Sherman went on to play for the 49ers. That's weird, they're rivals. And for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before he called it quits. So those two are the prominent ones that I'm keeping an eye out on for inductions into the 2027 draft. If Cam goes, I'm going to be super, super hyped. So will Panther Nation. But anyway, guys, I'm going to be going to a small commercial break here, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Just grab your drink, grab your snack. I'll be right back. All right, guys, and welcome to the second half of the show. Thank you for hanging with me. Welcome to the McGrath Podcast Network and to the Legal Score. I'm your host, Sonja. And I know you all are keeping a close eye on that Cavaliers-Detroit game. It's on commercial right now. Right now, I've already covered that part of the segment, but I will cover some more NFL news while we're awaiting some updates from the score here. Now, the Chicago Bears are signing former Steelers wide receiver Scotty Miller. Um, this guy, they invited him to rookie minicamp on a tryout basis, and they liked what they saw of him on Friday. 28 years old, hauled in 14 receptions for 131 yards, one touchdown over the last two seasons in Pittsburgh, and he also had two kick returns for 34 yards. So kudos to him. He was instrumental in the Buccaneers Super Bowl title run after catching a 39-yard touchdown pass from Brady. Tom Brady. So this dude has been in here for a while. And so now Miller, an Illinois native, returns to his home state to play for Ben Johnson and possesses 4.39 speed. So kudos to Scotty Miller, wide receiver. The Titans are signing number 4 pick wide receiver Cornell Tate to a 4-year, $51 million fully guaranteed contract with a $33.64 million signing bonus. So this is what I don't get. I don't know if this is just how competitive it is now. You've got to basically guarantee these people that no matter what, you're going to get paid. By the way, guys, the score is close. Now, 52, is this correct? 52-60. Tip off just happened. Yeah, it's 8-point deficit, top of the third quarter, 11:50 and some change to go. Cleveland is trying to pull back in with this one. At one point, Detroit had a 20-point lead, or was looking like it. I'll say 20. I maybe 15. But anyway, it's now 8 points. Anyway, congratulations to Cornell Tate getting this signing with the Tennessee Titans. Y'all better look out for the Titans. They may be on their way to coming back. The Jets, on the other hand, are signing running back Brees Hall to a 3-year deal worth $45.75 million, making him the league's third highest paid running back. Just all this money, like wow, 15.25 average per year is that's what he's going to be getting. So kudos to him as well. Now, while we're here looking at this game, I don't know if you all noticed in the playoffs, the NBA referees have been calling about 11% more personal fouls per game in the playoffs than they did during the regular season. One of the largest differentials in NBA history. Now, a lot of people have been talking about some of these calls have been pivotal in the win slash the losses. And, a lot of people have their perceptions because nobody wants to see their team penalized and then they end up losing the game. Let's be clear. But people are calling this out saying, hey, this is not, we say 11%, like that may be a small thing, but 11% increase in fouls being called out, personal fouls at that, are pivotal in the playoffs. Now, y'all know everybody steps up no matter what sport it is in playoffs. You got to play in to stay in and you got to win. So you got to play more aggressive. You got to show that you're the best and the reason why you are the best. So perhaps that's the reason why, but come on, y'all. Some of this stuff is comical at this point. Unfortunately, I failed to mention this, and I do want to take a moment to honor 13-year NBA veteran Jason Collins, who passed away on Tuesday at the age of 47 after he was diagnosed with stage 4 glioblastoma, which is a brain tumor. He was a trailblazer and a light to all that surrounded him. And he's a lot of people throughout the leagues were pouring in tributes for him. Just so sad to know that he lost his life at such a young age from such a terrible disease. We'll definitely send in thoughts and prayers to his family. Okay, now this game is 54-60, and Cleveland is at the free throw line. So now it's 5 points, 55-60. I know a lot of you guys are a lot of you all are actually probably watching this game. So I'm going to just make sure I got everything covered before I hop off of here. This may be like a small abbreviated show, just so you all can get everything y'all need today. Let's see. All right, it's now a 4-point game. So don't count Cleveland out. They are 12 for 14 from free throws. And it is now 10 minutes left in this game, and they are not laying down whatsoever. Let's see, make sure I got everything here. Oh, this is something nobody ever talks about. Let me give a shout out to the Carolina Hurricanes. Okay. NHL. No one ever talks about NHL too much. I'm gonna talk about them for just a little bit before I hop off of here. Because I'm so excited for you guys know me. I'm from Carolina. Anytime a Carolina team is represented, except the Tar Heels, sorry guys, I'm going to root for them. And because I'm a Duke fan, so y'all know that. So anyway, the Hurricanes are looking really good right now. The 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs have been intense. Several surprise teams making deep runs. The Colorado Avalanche had looked dominantly, especially physically. Analysts are saying they're nearly doubled their hits per game compared to regular season. The Anaheim Ducks are one of the postseason surprise stories after missing the playoffs for years, and they're tied in a tough series with the Vegas Golden Knights and have become one of the best power play teams remaining. The Buffalo Sabres also ended their 15-year playoff drought and won a playoff series for the first time since 2007 under coach Lindy Ruff. And the biggest NHL headline today is the firing of Craig Berube by the Toronto Maple Leafs after a disastrous season where Toronto missed the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Fans all over social media have been debating whether the problems were coaching, the roster construction, or the team's core four. Now, the Leafs have already replaced general manager Brad Trevelyan with John Shikita earlier this month, signaling a major organizational rebuild. There's some big suspensions right now. Charlie McAvoy of the Boston Bruins is facing a fallout after a violent slashing incident during the playoffs. Reports are saying that an NHL player's safety reviewed the play, and another report says he's going to receive a 6-game suspension that's going to start next season. The Minnesota Wild are battling injuries to key players, including Joel Eriksson, Ek, and Jonas Broden, while trying to stay alive against the Rockies, Colorado. And earlier playoff injury news also included the Ottawa defenseman Thomas Chabot being ruled out for the season and for the playoffs. So lot of stuff going on right now. Of course, biggest surprises were the Anaheim Ducks, Buffalo Sabres, and the Utah Mammoth making their playoffs in just their second season. So that's the new team, and they're already there. And I've already told you guys the Toronto Maple Leafs missed the playoffs, and they started cleaning house real quick. Florida Panthers failed to defend their back-to-back championships, so they're a big disappointment ranking. And the Edmonton Oilers getting bounced early despite high expectations around Connor McDavid. So, I mean, you just got to think about what these teams have looked like overall, what we have expected as fans. You know, I was trying to get into the whole hockey thing last season. Carolina Hurricanes, of course, one of the hottest teams in hockey right now. 8-0 in the 2026 playoffs, sweeping both the Ottawa Senators and the Philadelphia Flyers. Definitely excited for them doing that. And they're the first NHL team since the modern playoff format began in 1987 to sweep through the first 2 rounds. Let's do that undefeated. They literally have just been running through people, or should I say putting through people. A lot of analysts right now see Carolina and the Colorado Avalanche as the Stanley Cup favorites. Biggest reason for their success is Frederik Andersen. He is on fire, guys. Their goalie has been elite this postseason, winning Carolina's first 8 playoff games with a save percentage of around .950, according to reports. And then their veterans are stepping up. Taylor Hall has had a huge playoff resurgence, while captain Jordan Staal continues anchoring their physical defensive style. Coach Rod Brenda Amore has Carolina back in the Eastern Conference Final for the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons. But this year, They look solid. Sweeping teams, undefeated. The first two rounds is a very good sign for them. Their forechecking and defensive structure has overwhelmed opponents. The Hurricanes are waiting on the winner right now of the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens series in the Eastern Conference Final. And then Carolina signed forward Mark Jankowski to a 2-year extension this week. Yay! I'm so happy about that. Prospect Charlie Serrato signed an entry-level deal after finishing at Penn State. So welcome to the Hurricanes as well. And the team is also reportedly benefiting from finally being healthier than in past playoff runs. So it's a win all the way across the board for the Carolina Hurricanes. And right now, this game is still hovering 61-65. 7 minutes left in this game. Cleveland is trailing. They have yet to catch up to Detroit and tie this game, but they probably will do so momentarily. With that, I'm going to make this an abbreviated show tonight. I hope everyone has had a great night tomorrow night and every night. And I hope you guys have been checking out the BW review. So last night I had a chance. Thank you so much again to Brian and to James for having me on the BW Flicks. We reviewed the movies The Messenger and Presumed Innocent. And when I tell you all, it was so much fun being on the show. They want to make sure that if you watch the re-air or whatever, that you drop in the comments what show you would like them to, well, what movie you would like them to review next. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And so got a chance to do that with them last night. Make sure you guys check the re-air, check all of the shows out that I showed at the half mark that are on McGrath Podcast Network. Shout out to Pink Fanfare, Realist Real Creator, and of course Brian B.A. Strilla behind the scenes with the production team. And shout out to Miss Linda, who without this would not be possible. Everyone enjoy the remainder of your day. Y'all take care and God bless.